Let's have a look at an executable process in which the contact details of a new business partner are captured at some point. These contact data should also be saved in an external system. Since in Bonita we don't have a suitable connector for the Odoo system used here, this could mean in the worst case that the data must be copied manually from a Bonita dialog and pasted into Odoo. For such routine tasks, we can use Robotic Process Automation, RPA. The process calls an RPA bot which enters the data into the external system via the user interface. Unfortunately, it turned out that the free version of the RPA system Microsoft Power Automate desktop does not have a standard interface that could be called from the process. For this reason, we also use the RPA functionality for the communication between Bonita and the bot. Instead of a service task with a system call via an interface, we use a normal user task with a user interface form. The bot logs into Bonita with its own username and it processes the tasks from its task list. Here is the process. First, an employee captures the contact details. The bot then enters the data into the CRM system. Finally, the process continues, in our case simply by displaying a confirmation. The system into which the data is to be transferred is Odoo, a business software with many components. I use the free subscription of the CRM component. In this system you can manage contacts and create new contacts. And this is exactly what I want to do in my process with the help of a bot. I start the process as an employee. Here I enter the contact data and the process flow begins. I start the process a second time so that we can see how the bot processes tasks from several process instances. So here are the contact details of a second organization. We have started this process twice, therefore there are two process instances. In each of these instances, the bot has to enter the corresponding contact data into the CRM system. Here is the script of the bot activity in Power Automate. I start the bot. It opens a browser, logs into the CRM system Odoo with its username, and it switches to the contacts application. It opens a second browser and logs into Bonita. In its task list, it finds two tasks from the two process instances. It starts the first task, reads the data from the form, finishes the task and switches to Odoo. Here it enters the data that we have just seen in Bonita. Now it executes the second task and also transfers the data to Odoo. In the background, it checks again if there are any other tasks. This is not the case, so the bot's activity is terminated. Here we can see the two new contact entries. In Bonita, I log in as an employee again, and I see in the task list that the two process instances have proceeded, and I can look at the confirmations. A few more words about how this scenario has been modeled. Here's the model in Bonita, a regular model without any RPA-specific calls. The only specific aspect, we have a separate lane and also a separate username for the bot so that it can log in like a human user. Here is a normal user task with the corresponding UI form. The bot executes this task and then the process continues. Here is the model of the Power Automate activity. First, a subflow opens the Odoo contact management. A browser is started, the required web page is opened, and, if necessary, the bot logs into Odoo. The same happens in the next subflow with Bonita. A second browser is started and the Bonita portal is opened, where the bot logs in. In the main flow, there's a loop in which the bot checks whether there's an entry called Enter Contact Data into CRM System. This is the name of the task to be performed by the bot. If there is at least one such entry, the bot clicks on the first entry. In the subflow, Transfer Contact Values, the data is read from the Bonita page and saved in a variable. A new contact is created in Odoo. Here, the data of the contact is entered into the form. If there is no more entry in the task list, the loop is terminated. The RPA activity must be started regularly so that any new contacts are transferred to the CRM system.